The next one, so acts that break the fast and do not require penalty. So eating, drinking, or inhaling something accidentally. Okay? Now, so here's a situation. I've made wudu, and when I was had water in my mouth, it accidentally went down my throat. Does that break my fast?
Yeah.
Yes. Accidentally does break. Okay? Here's another situation. I'm sitting in the airport, I'm fasting, someone has, here's a coffee. You knock that coffee back, you think, oh my goodness me, I'm fasting. Is your fast broken?
Yeah.
No. What's the difference between the first one and the second one?
Forgetful.
The first one, it was done accidentally, but you know you're fasting. But accidentally, you went, oh my goodness me. So that's why I say people should apply a bit of caution when they're sniffing water. Like, you can even leave the sniffing if you've got a bit of OCD paranoia. Yeah, don't sniff. It's not a necessary component of the wudu. Okay, but so you say you sniff and it accidentally goes down, and you're conscious you're a faster at that time. It breaks your fast. Okay, if you were just like completely forgot that you're fasting and thought you had a good old gargle, you know, and you go and you swallow it and you go, oh no, I'm fasting. Now you did that forgetfully. Do you see the difference? There's a distinction between accidentally and forgetfully. Accidentally, does it break your fast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Forgetfully, does it break your fast?
Mm.
So you could have a whole scrandan.
Forgetfully.
Forgetfully. Yeah. I know one, Sheikh Faraz Rabbani tells a funny story.
Well,
Yeah, he knocked 3 coffees back forgetfully in the space of about 20 minutes. Someone, he said, and he forgot. And then he had another one. Oh, I don't know how that's possible, but he told me.
After how many times can you be forgetful
Doesn't
before
matter.
it comes as in, like, not in your sane mind?
You think the guy, he must be, he needs some rest, I think. It's pretty, most of the time. It usually only happens once, but as I said, as long as you're forgetful, Bismillah. Yeah, prata, roti, everything. But
Sheikh, I don't understand. Accidentally, you know what I knew was about if you have accidentally taken something down your throat, and then you think, well, you know, now I've broken my fast, then your fast is broken. But if something going down, you know, like say unforgettably.
you see, the whole issue about this is
I don't understand.
the principle is by both your fast is broken. If you think about the principle is if anything goes down your throat, your fast is broken. However, we have an explicit hadith.
But that was unintentional, isn't it? Something accidentally gone.
No, what I'm saying, from a legal, if we were to think logically, if something goes down your throat, whether it's forgetful, accidentally, it breaks your fast. By definition, anything that goes past your throat breaks your fast. So the assumption, the legal assumption, is that it breaks your fast. However, we have a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ where he says, whoever forgetfully eats when they're fasting, it's like a gift from Allah. So that's the thing that takes forgetfulness out. We would assume even forgetfully break your fast, but because we have an explicit hadith of the Prophet ﷺ stating it doesn't, we can't. Can we use qiyas on that, analogy on that, for accidental? None of the scholars allowed it. They said accidentally breaks your fast. I don't know a difference of opinion about that. Even Imam Malik, his position was even if you do it forgetfully, your fast is broken. But you're not sinful, he said. Okay, but the other schools, there's never that. But why? Because you've got to follow the principle. I like principles. Principle is to do a kafara. Why would you have to do a kafara? Like complete lack of respect for the day. You've got to imagine Ramadan is about respect for the day, for someone who could possibly fast. So a woman that comes up her menses, she's not now defined as a woman on her menses. So she can fast, she should respect the day and not eat. Does that make sense? By following these general principles, it makes it a lot easier than going into the details, what does and what doesn't. Okay, you make life complicated. Okay, so the general principle is everything breaks your fast if it goes down your throat, except for forgetfully, because we have an explicit hadith state the Prophet saying so.
If you walk in the street.
Good. These are all very good questions. Let's go. So if I talk about eating, drinking, or inhaling something accidentally. So here, Jalal, he walks down the street and there's a bunch of smokers. Okay. Now, if you intentionally walk through them like this, Okay, that breaks your fast. Okay, there's no kafara on that though, because it's not something for it to break your fast and kafara. It's got to be something that's nutritional. So if I took a stone, knocked it back, it breaks your fast because it's gone past your throat, but it's not nutritional, so it's not no kafara on that. Because it doesn't make sense. You're not going to say, "Oh, that stone really hit the spot," you know. So, smoking. If you walk, this becomes an issue. So you're walking down the beach and there's a spray. Yeah, that doesn't break your fast because you didn't intentionally. You know, you're just walking and it haphazardly happened. Say you walking down the street and someone breathes smoke into your face against your will. It doesn't break your fast even if it goes down to your throat. But, and this happened to me once, I completely forgot, well, because I was forgetting, I suppose it doesn't break my fast, according to the Hanafis, is that I had an incense burner when in Ramadan, and I was going, sniffing it back, it went down my throat, I felt it. That breaks your fast. Okay, because you're exposing yourself to it intentionally. Do you see the difference? So someone who works in a situation, say they're in a bakery, or say they're painters, and fumes are going down, that doesn't break their fast in any way, because they're not doing it, they have to work in that environment, there's nothing they can do about it. But say for example, you go into the shower, or you go swimming, and it goes down your throat, that breaks your fast. Because you're purposely putting yourself in that position now. Whilst in the other one, you didn't go into it; it came to you. Do you see the distinction? Yeah.
You know, if you're fasting and you're really hungry and saliva builds up in your mouth, do you have to spit it out?
Oh, this is a typical. The uncle's spitting all the time. Have you seen it? Now, no. Let's not go there. Let's get even grosser. You get some real grog in your mouth, some phlegm, okay, and you play around with your mouth and swallow it. Does that break your fast?
No.
No. I just say that doesn't break your fast. So if that doesn't break your fast, saliva is definitely not going to break your fast.
Oh, so you could gulp your saliva.
Yeah,
so you're not allowed to collectively do it then.
No, the only thing is if your wife spits in your mouth, and basically you get kissing and saliva, and you swallow your wife's saliva, your husband's saliva, that breaks your fast because that's someone else's. It's something external going in. So say I got that phlegm now, let's get grosser, and I start swinging it round, and now I've got the kids' attention. I've engaged her now, okay? And you do a few skips with it, you know, and then you put it in your mouth and swallow it, that breaks your fast. Because you've taken it out, and then you put it back in. But as long as it stays within the confines of your mouth, and it goes back down, and it's from your body, blood, and so forth, it doesn't break your fast. Now, however, there's an issue here with blood. Okay, they say if it's, you know, that what breaks your wudu, they say your saliva's overwhelmed by blood. So if you spit, it's red. If you swallow that, it does break your fast. Okay, so that's a even in the medical school it does as well.
You can't have your teeth out because if there's a lot of blood.
So if there's a lot of blood and you swallow it, that will break your fast. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that if it goes down and you feel it down your throat, that'll break your fast. We're not talking about kafaras here. Everyone gets paranoid. It's like when you're on Hajj and everyone's saying dum 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 to you, and like, you know, everything's dumb. Dum dum dum. You know, it's like in Ramadan, everything's kafara, kafara, kafara. You have to violate it with intention. So it just means you're going to make it up. It's not a big deal. Just chill, you know. Okay, you're just going to make a day up. It's not something to stress about. Woe is me. Start lashing yourself now. I've failed Ramadan. You know, what's my mum going to say? And so if you feel something go down your throat, okay. Now this becomes what we got here. So forcing oneself to vomit more than a mouthful. So you stick your fingers down your throat. You vomit more than a mouthful. I don't know how you measure that, okay? But it's a lot of vomit. That breaks your fast. If you vomited unintentionally, you saw something and it made your stomach churn and you vomited, it doesn't break your fast. Because you didn't do it intentionally. It's got to be sticking your fingers down your throat and getting it out and be a mouthful, okay? If it's less than a mouthful, even if it's intentional, it doesn't break your fast, okay? Swelling blood from one's gums or teeth, the predominates one, saliva. So any dental stuff you shouldn't do in Ramadan, basically, unless it's a real need. Say it's really hard for you to get to an appointment outside, abscess or something like that. Just not try to avoid it to the best of your ability. Or if not, you have to make up the day. But there won't be a kafara there. You're not. See again. Your intention is not to violate just willy nilly. There's a real need here. I need to have this done. Okay, and that's an illness. If it's an abscess, it's an illness. And so when you're ill in Ramadan, you can break your fast. Okay, that's not an issue whatsoever.
Just regarding the vomiting, sometimes that it comes straight from your stomach, right? But sometimes it feels like it comes from here.
Oh, that heart. We used to call it heartburn. Is that what you call it? Like that it comes up and goes back down. The reflux. That doesn't break your fast.
That doesn't. No matter the amount.
Well, reflux is never going to be a mouthful. Like, it's got to be like a mouthful. We're talking about. You can't hold it back. It's going to spray all over the place. Yeah, vomits out. Like you can't hold it back. Okay. Yeah.
So Sheikh, sometimes I have this, like I have migraines and it's the end of the day.
Yeah.
And you've got nothing coming up with just water. You're not even water, just wild.
That doesn't break your fast, of course.
No matter how much it is.